What's up, everybody? It's Friday night. We are here. Bobby, BF,
What's up, everybody?
Andrew. We are the Sports Heads. Episode 32. What's up, brother man?
The froggy voice is here.
Froggy voice?
I got the froggy.
I hear that, huh? Yeah, you're still you're coming back around slowly but surely. Your voice is coming back. You told us the other day that you don't have COVID, right?
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo. Hey, Andrew Fonzarelli over here. No COVID. Yep, I'm glad to hear you're getting your voice back some and everything. I trust that we're live because I hit the live button twice. So I think we're good. Let's check out these first couple comments, Andrew, and then we'll start bringing our friends in for episode 32 of the Sports Heads. All right, we start off with Scott checking in. Thanks, bro. There's our little PayPal link in there if you're so inclined. Jasmine says, hey, if that said Facebook user, I might think that's Owen. So let's see. Get it, peeps. There we go. We're getting it. Love you, oh yeah, we love OE too. Ha ha. Yeah. All right, let's go on. All right, and with that, there's checking those first couple comments. Let's bring in our friends. Let's say hello to our chat moderator on here, but our executive producer on TGB and our friend and brother Bobby Nick. How you doing?
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad. Not too shabby. I love your shirt, Andrew. It's my favorite band, man.
Thank you.
Cha, bro.
Back up. I want to see the whole thing. Is that like a Who Made Who, or is that a Hell's Bells, or what?
We got to get him to back up to really tell, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Andrew, you heard the man.
It's I have to check.
I thought Bobby Nick would even know with that. It looks. I'm having a hard time. Let's see. I'm gonna give you full screen. Maybe this will help us out. Give you solo. What do you think, Bobby Nick? What's your ACDC professional assessment?
Just a generic one.
That looks like it's Who Made Who, because I think that's the top of Angus's head, and I know that album cover pretty fucking well.
So y'all weren't here, obviously, the pre-show, but I get Andrew in on camera. He's over by his closet.
Yes.
He's got Alexa playing music, and he's doing like a wrestling entrance. What is that, Bobby Nick?
That is Who Made Who.
Who
It is
made
confirmed.
who? All right. Our resident ACDC expert, Bobby Nick, confirmed it's an ACDC Who Made Who shirt.
That's right.
Bobby Nick is such the ACDC expert that when we got to know each other, he tried to get me with the ultimate ACDC trivia, and he certainly got me in that. He said, who was the first singer for ACDC? And, of course, me thinking that I'm a rockhead and I know my stuff. Well, it's not Brian Johnson, right? It's Bon Scott, right? I know the first guy, right? And then he hits me with something else. Bobby Nick, tell everyone what you told me.
It was actually Dave Evans. Dave Evans was the original singer. So Bon Scott didn't come in until a year later. Can you guys see me?
You are froze right now. We are moving. You are froze, and your voice came through loud and clear.
Shit.
But you have a pleasant smile on your face. And we did hear your fact. You said a guy named Dave Evans. So, so that's a little, not a sports fact, but an extra fun fact you get to learn here on Sports Heads tonight is that it is not Bon Scott. You're still frozen, my man. Looks like we got you on like satellite. Coming in on satellite.
Maybe I'll try to go out and come back in.
Okay, I'll remove you from the thing, and while we do that, I'll bring in some other friends. I say hello to our friend Scott Fitzpatrick. What's up, bro? Signal check.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing, man?
How's it going?
All right. Yes, Bobby Nick turned me on to that little ACDC tidbit. I wasn't aware of that. Were you aware of that one?
I'm a pretty. I'll take a look on some music trivia. I feel pretty good at it.
Pretty deep in the game, huh?
I know.
All right,
I know music trivia.
Am I back? Am I back in black?
I get it. There you go. He's back in black, ACDC style. All right. Yeah. Well, we got him back. Let's say hello to another friend, the host of TGB, our boy Owen.
Owen.
That's right. I did get it wrong, Bobby Nick. It is Owie. You are right. As you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do know. That's why we're messing with you.
Yeah.
It's all good. How you doing tonight, bro?
I
I'm good, my friend. I am fucking chilling. I'm here.
You look good.
You look stoned.
I am, bro. And I have it on good. I have it on good authority that shirt is actually. It means a cuck for the Dixie Chicks.
No.
Doesn't mean that.
No.
But you know what? In some countries, it does mean gay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
What, ACDC?
AC/DC.
Those who swing both ways.
You
AC/DC.
fucking you ACDC son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But in Australia, they call them akadaka.
Yeah. Akada. I've heard. Yeah. Aka. Yeah. Aka. Akadaka.
Akadaka.
Motherfucker is ACDCer than a bitch. You know what I'm saying? He ACDC as fuck.
All right. Well, we got one more friend backstage. Let's bring her in. She stopped by to see us tonight. Let's say hello to Shayna.
Hey, Shayna.
Yo, that break didn't last too long. That was a very.
She just needed a break. Hey.
I needed a little break.
That was a
little mental health, little personal health day.
Sometimes a day helps wonders. I can confirm that one.
All right, look, she's already trying to throw fists at me. Calm down.
Hi, Facebook user. Hi to you. All right, let's see.
I'm breathing.
That could be Miss Hillary, by the way. I'm just saying.
I thought Hill came up last night. Shout out Hill. We saw you join the TGB Sports Head Facebook group. Hill Squared.
Hey, I learned that song, Bobby Nick.
I heard.
It is
yes,
freezing.
I'm ready to have a threesome with you and Andrew whenever you guys.
You mean musical, right? Yeah. He was playing a little bit last night. All apologies. I like that.
You're talking about another podcast, right?
Yeah.
Whenever.
Right. No, he's not doing it tonight. But
Tina Williams saying hi.
It's Tina. Hey, shout out Tina. That's my niece Tina. Yeah, I don't get the. You got to be on Facebook to see the names, as you know, Bobby Nick. So thanks for giving me that.
Hey, no problem, brother.
He is the chat/Facebook moderator.
That's it. He's doing his thing. One of the many reasons we appreciate him. But we're glad you're here tonight. Yeah. We are here to be the official, unofficial, official, whatever way you want to say it, pre-show for Replayables coming on at 9 o'clock tonight. But before we get down to that, let's see.
Stormy.
Where's Stormy? She checking in? Okay.
Yeah.
She said she might have company. Hi, crew. Hope everyone is good. Thank goodness it's Friday. Yes.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord and thank goodness it's Friday.
See my Jasmine's here, as always.
That's cool. Yeah. Everybody's here.
Watching her little Owie. All right, check it out over 9. Before we get started, we're gonna.
That internet is working perfectly. Shane.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
We're all having issues tonight. I had to change my router settings right before we went on air, so got to pray a little bit on top of it. Check it out. This is where we're heading at 9 o'clock. Replayables. What he says, old year, new me.
That's such an awesome picture. I like that new picture.
Everybody knows who that is by now, right?
Keeping it fresh in the paint. You know what I mean?
But I swear I saw it say, New Year, old me.
So, right. So, check it out. So, it says old year, new me, but then in the description, it says new year, old me. So, maybe he'll address on that, or maybe somebody was dyslexic along the way. I don't know. Maybe thought.
Stormy, I think you need to get on making graphics for Chris Abels, too.
Or at least spell check. All right, so let's see.
Not only is it spell check, but it looks like one of those things that you cut out things from magazines and you paste it on a piece of paper. And
So I'm already subscribed. I already put my like on it because I know I'm going to be there over there at 9 o'clock with you all. So that's what we're going to do. So, but before that, me and Andrew, we got to put it all in the pot and stir it up. You ready to do it, Andrew?
Come on, Andrew.
You throw it all in the bin. You ready?
No
Let's
bitching
do
out
it.
tonight. No bitching out tonight, motherfucker.
All right. So the biggest sports story, of course, the last week, and shout out to our boy, our West Coast correspondent, our friend Bone Loads. He came on air and told us that this guy had a heart attack during the week. Talk about Damar Hamlin and his latest update, Andrew.
He's breathing on his own. He's verbally talking. And God is great. Prayers are good.
There you go. You heard it from Andrew. Up, he's talking. God is great, and prayers are good.
Andrew, I thought you were an atheist, bro. What the hell are you talking about?
No.
I'm just wrong.
But yeah, so it says about 48 hours after he collapsed and went into cardiac arrest during a nationally televised game. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin awoke for the first time Wednesday night, unable to speak because a tube that is helping him breathe. He scribbled a note with a piece of paper on a clipboard. Did we win? Hamlin asked his bedside nurse. Yeah, and the answer, Damar, you won. You won the game of life. I thought that's the perfect answer in that case.
Hell yeah. And I'll tell you what, though, that amazes me that this motherfucker woke up and all he cared about was, yo, did we fucking win? That's from Remember the Titans type shit.
Well, I mean, that's the last thing he was doing,
So what the best thing is about that, Owen, is that they revived him soon enough that he was able to remember that. Because, bro, if he would have been out a lot longer, his brain would have not worked, and they would have been like, what day of the week is it? The fact that he woke up and that's the first shit he knew, that's a blessing, man. That's really good.
BK in the house.
Yeah. What's up, Brian? Thanks for checking in. He was the first person to check in on my spontaneous coffee with BF that I did on Thursday. So shout out, Brian.
Goddamn, I wish I would have got in on that live.
Stormy, I always got to throw it out to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I always got to throw it out to you.
That's amazing that happened.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, it is amazing. What's up, Brian? Shouting out everybody back. Yeah, so like we said, like Andrew, it's a blessing, isn't it, Andrew? That man, I mean, he could be brain dead if not for the medical care he was given.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think prayers really do help. And
yeah. Now, Andrew, talk to me. Tell everybody you asked me about you wanted to write something to him. What is your intention with that?
I just want to give him something uplifting, like, keep fighting, bro. Like, give him a piece of my story. We are fighters. We don't quit.
That's cool. And so you want to actually send him like a card, right? Like a get well card? Yeah, Andrew and I were doing a little pre-show stuff, and he said, "Hey, if you think you could help me, send a card." And we got online, good old Google, and found a place right away. So I think Andrew's going to take care of that, and he's going to be sending his best wishes to Damar real soon. I thought that was really nice, Andrew.
That's right on, brother. Right
but you know what? Take a picture, bro, and there better not be any PS. Can I have a free autograph on that motherfucker?
No hitting up for autographed jerseys.
No free tickets.
And I'm going to caption it. Here's a little motivation to keep fighting.
No, I got you, bro.
That's great, man. I thought that was really cool that Andrew thought of him like that. So check it out. His progress is good. It says Damar Hamlin FaceTimed into our team meeting today for Buffalo, and he talked to the players and the coaches. So that'll give you all an indication of how far along this young man is coming. Like about 48 hours, he's starting to get his speech back. And
like you said, BF, if he was out for any longer, he wouldn't remember nothing. If anything, he could have been brain dead, not brain dead, but memory loss and not know who the fuck he is, like amnesia type shit. So
yeah.
Even though he's not on social media right now, I send him well wishes via tweet.
That's cool, bro.
Via.
Yeah, this story has not only touched Andrew, obviously, but it's touched a lot of people. I mean, it's cut across the.
Well, bro,
You know,
that was a hard ass
Google.
fucking hit he took.
right. Like
that-
even non-sports
Hey,
fans are
Google.
captivated by the story of somebody
Yeah.
having
Yeah,
a sudden heart attack.
You might want to put mute button a little bit there, buddy.
There you go.
Put a what?
Thank
A
you.
what? A what? A what?
Yeah.
She's like bleeding through a lot, so we'll turn her on and off.
Mm.
But let's see. So so involved in this play was not only DeMar, he was the safety. He was the person trying to make the tackle, but the wide receiver was T. Higgins. You want to talk about T. Higgins, and I'll show the video, Andrew?
T is not at fault for this.
Right, so people are actually trying to blame the wide
Yeah, I heard
receiver.
Bro, I heard he's even gotten like death threats and shit.
So yes, that is insane. A total just happened out of the blue. Like no one planned this play.
Yeah, like what the
You know,
fuck,
it was total an accident. They call things accidents for reasons, right? So he's actually getting death threats. So Josh Allen took to the media, his media time, to make this statement in support of T. Higgins, and I'll play it for you right now.
Go ahead. Shout out to wherever we got this tweet from.
I do want to say one more thing. I haven't reached out to T. I hope that, he got some relief today. And I don't know, I saw some stuff on Twitter, and people should not be attacking him whatsoever. And I'm glad that DeMar's family came out and said that. And hopefully he found some relief today, because again, that's a football play. And I hope that he doesn't hold that upon himself, because again, there's nothing else that he could have done in that situation. So I just wanted to say that too. I do want to.
Ain't that great? So it's sad that the statement had to be made for something so obvious.
Bro,
Brian says in the chat, there is a chance that all of this might be fake. Just saying.
no.
Well, Brian. So I don't know if you're necessarily on the vaccine suddenly drop tip, or just the fact that this has given them an awful lot of ability to affect how the next few games are played and how this season ends, and it's kind of unprecedented a level of control. We're going to get into it a little later. They're talking about coin flips and tiebreakers and shit.
Think as far as how, like the dude planned it. Like fake as far as how.
Well, right, could be that, or you got your ultimate conspiracy theorist that said he dropped from that, or the ultimate conspiracy. He might have been under some kind of control or something.
He dropped from the COVID. He dropped from the COVID vaccine. Is what they're trying
Maybe
to say.
fake.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, it's just funny how people go from zero to the ultimate speculation right away after seeing something on screen. Right away, they want to believe that it's something else other than what they saw.
I thought it was cardiac arrhythmia. I thought that was whatever they call it.
Right, bro. So that night when we pulled up that video, the doctor explained it, and he showed us a graph where if they get hit in the chest at the perfect time during the heartbeat, that essentially stops everything, and you have cardiac arrest.
That ain't no fake bullshit. Miss Kathy don't fuck me up.
But it's the main story. A ton of publicity equals a lot of money. Again, just saying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the unprecedented control, Brian, and the coin flips and all that stuff, especially with the sports betting coming into the NFL now. It just adds to my suspicions. Anything is possible, and bets could be. Yeah, because now, the NFC East has already been determined because the Bengals didn't get to play that game. So now it could have came down to the Baltimore Ravens and the Bengals playing for the division. That won't happen now because they ended the season.
Yeah,
so
if Miss Kathy says it, I gotta agree.
That's cool, Brian.
I'm not getting my ass kicked.
If Miss Kathy says it, that's right. So it's just sad, and even goes to the extent that they're blaming the wide receiver who was just happened to be the one that they got tackling.
Fucking death threats, bro.
Death threats.
Sick of people, bro.
For bumping into somebody during a football game. So
how sick of people, bro? Like how fucking sick of people.
While sad, I thought it was stand up for Josh Allen to take the time to do that. That's a stand up kind of guy. All right, so now
sucks.
Yeah. Everybody, what's this say? Oh, look what Kathy says, Owen. Put you at ease.
Love you too.
Or was she being sarcastic?
Fuck you, buddy.
Couldn't have that compliment just straight up, could you? All right, so everybody hold on tight. because we're going to try to unravel this playoff scenario stuff. All right, so here we go. Craziness.
They're talking about neutral sites.
Yes.
SoFi and all this.
They are talking about neutral sites and coin flips to decide playoffs.
Oh no!
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So the owners have approved this plan, and basically it comes down to, because Buffalo is in the playoff hunt and because the Bengals are in the playoff hunt, both of those teams have played one less game than everyone else. Than everyone else this season. So they kind of had an unfair advantage, and they're making it into the playoffs by playing one less game than the rest of the league did. So in order to try to balance this and make this fair in some way, there are scenarios where they might have to play in neutral sites and things are based on coin tosses. So it says, if Buffalo and Kansas City win or tie, eventual Bills and a championship game with the Chiefs would have to be at a neutral site, because Buffalo would have gotten in with an unfair advantage playing one less game. So they're not going to give them home field advantage. Then it goes on to say, if Buffalo and Kansas City both lose and Baltimore wins or ties, the Bills-Chiefs championship game would also be at a neutral site. So it looks like no matter what, both scenarios, if Buffalo is in it, it's going to have to be at a neutral site. And then the same kind of goes for if the Bengals are involved. So we're going to have to see the results of some of these games, and it's going to come down to a coin flip. If the Baltimore Ravens beat the Bengals this week, it's going to come down to a coin flip to have a home field advantage for this playoff game the following week. So ain't that something? So good luck keeping up with that.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't...
Look at Stormy's last... Oh, you're not done?
Nope, that's fine. Nope, I was going to move on, but I got time in between. Let's say, my sis, who is visiting now, has recently had heart trouble. She thinks it has to do with COVID vaccines because she didn't have trouble before COVID. I'm not sure she had an Apple Watch before okay, maybe. If she's like, hey, shout out to the 7 people that are watching live. We appreciate you. This is episode 232 of the Sports Heads.
Stormy trying to be a comedian lately, but it's working.
Nah. So when you bring this kind of stuff up, these things affect different people in different ways. Go ahead, Scott.
I think if it get late in the season, if it's impossible to make a game up, then it's an act of God, and they can't just accept it, and it's an act of God.
Yeah, but then because they use the winning percentage, Scott, that's what's making it tricky, because they have a higher winning percentage by playing less games, and that's kind of an unfair way to get a higher winning percentage. So, and I even had a scenario. I said, well, what if they made it a tie? Well, if they made them both eat a tie, we're essentially still at the same place, because they would have essentially the same records, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's confusing. I thought for sure that they played in empty stadiums during COVID. I thought they would have just opened the stadium up the next day to an empty crowd and just played out the rest of the game and been done with it.
Yeah,
but obviously either that
football field.
Right. There are many other options you would think. So I'm really curious as to why that never occurred. And maybe if there was a good reason as to why they couldn't get it in, maybe I wouldn't be so suspicious about them trying to control all this. Let's see. Kathy says, wow, Stormy, I had COVID shot and 2 boosters, had heart attack in October, had to have triple bypass surgery.
Oh, man.
Was just a year.
I knew.
What the fuck?
That's how badass you are, Miss Kathy.
Yes, you do.
I definitely ain't fucking with you now. What that?
Yeah, she went through it, man. I seen her. She got cracked open, and she said that pain was worse than any childbirth she ever had. She told me. So
definitely not fucking with you.
I'm blessed that there are doctors here on the earth that have kept her around for me. But I mean, that is a hell of a thing to have to go through.
She's a badass, bro.
She's a badass. That's my sis. Shout out. Triple bypass that ass. All right, check it out. So.
Story, don't get COVID boosters.
Is that the moral of your story, Andrew? Don't get COVID shots. Well, I mean, you don't have COVID now, but you certainly had your share of the flu and sickness this year.
I don't want to get the COVID
Miss Kathy, don't talk about Stormy like that, please.
She's talking about herself. Can't keep a good dog down. All right. Well, look. See, if that didn't explain it enough, I'll play this little video for you, and this should help clarify things a little bit about the NFL playoff scenario that's about to take place. Here we go.
Milwaukee goes to the Denslow Cup. Unless Baltimore can upset Buffalo and Charlotte ties Toronto, then Oakland would play LA and Pittsburgh in a blind choice round robin. And if no clear winner emerges from all this, a two-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays until a champion is crowned.
Sack race.
Hi there, I'm Dan Patrick.
And I'm Kenny Mayne.
With the first 7 months of the basketball postseason out of the way, the playoff picture is now starting to emerge.
So with last night's victory over Boston, next week the Bears must beat Indianapolis in order to advance to Charlotte. That's in an effort to reduce their magic number to 3.
Right, and then the Bears can advance to the National Eastern Division North to play Tampa.
So if the Bears beat Detroit and Denver beats Atlanta in the American Southwestern Division East Northern, then Milwaukee goes to the Denslow Cup. Unless Baltimore can upset Buffalo and Charlotte ties Toronto, then Oakland would play LA and Pittsburgh in a blind choice round robin. And if no clear winner emerges from all this, a two-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays until a champion is crowned.
All right, well, hopefully that cleared everything up for you right there, guys. That's as clear and concise as we can make it here on the Sports Heads, all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm all cleared up.
You're all cleared up, huh? Very good. Did you get that, Andrew? You straight now, bro?
That's funny.
It was pretty funny, wasn't it? I had to include that because after I started reading these scenarios and trying to figure them out, I saw that in my feed, and I'm like, that's kind of how I felt reading the actual stuff. So I guess we're just basically you just wait games played, and there's Kathy saying Bobby Nick.
Hey, Kathy.
Brian's laughing. He liked that scenario. I think he's got it all down too. He firmly knows the playoff picture now because of that.
Yeah.
All right, and well, we're talking about the NFL. We got a couple more stories. Talk about the NFL is just as popular as ever, Andrew. It says that NFL had 82. Close some of this shit here on my screen. The NFL had 82 of the top 100 U.S. TV broadcasts in 2022. So I mean, obviously, NFL is even like dominating, series television at this point. They said, but for a couple college football games and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Kentucky Derby, Winter Olympics, Academy Awards, other than those, and World Cup, other than those one-off events, it basically looks like that the top 82 of the 100 top shows are football. What do you think about that, Andrew?
That's amazing.
It is pretty amazing. I thought
football is not dead, folks.
Football is not dead, and that's, boy, if you don't need much more proof than that, when it's 82
well,
of the top.
I think it's the fault of all these streaming services now, and everybody's watching their own thing on their own device, and with football and all kinds of sports, it's still a thing to gather a group of people around a television and watch it live. Yeah,
it's all right.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live, Andrew says.
That's right.
Well, Jerry says, Kathy, that's an amazing story.
Shannon's laughing.
I'm getting a blanket.
Your internet is working amazingly.
Just like everybody else. Like Bobby Nick was saying, he watched the show earlier tonight, and they're having crispiness and technical, we call it crispiness when the sound's popping and technical difficulties.
Yeah.
There are definitely some of these issues with sound, with StreamYard service that we use. Do you blame the shots as shots or pre-existing factors, Kathy? That's your health question. Jared's asking you. I'll let you guys talk about that in the chat as we move on. So now, Andrew, we are at the last game of the season. Andrew and Scott, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. We're getting down to where the first draft pick in the overall NFL draft next year is given to the team with the very worst record in the NFL. So now we have scenarios playing out where teams are going to be playing down for this last game because there are teams that have qualified for the first pick next year, but if they win tomorrow or win Sunday, they will fall to number 2 or 3. So, Andrew, I'm going to pull up this story. Tell me what you think about this whole draft scenario while I pull up the story.
I think they should have a draft lottery to avoid all that shit.
I think they should. I think they should too, brother. So what's going on here is that the Houston Texans are entering this weekend in the pole position. Essentially, they have the number 1 pick locked in. If they they don't even show up. If they lose, they get the number 1 pick next year. So my question is, what is their incentive to even try to win this game? Right, Scott? We were talking about this earlier, right?
Yeah, right.
There's not much.
Some people want to win at all costs. I'm that type of person. I like to win. And even if you ain't going to playoffs, I still want to win that last game. And then the players have money in their contracts on the line.
That's right. Scott made that good point when we were talking pre-show that a lot of these players have incentives in their contract to get a certain amount of reps or a certain amount of catches or whatever the case may be, receptions, carries, whatever they do. And if they are limited by these factors of trying to get a draft pick, it exacerbates that problem, and it's not very good for them. So, yeah, I think me and Scott and Andrew, we all agree that they should do like the NFL and have a lottery because
NBA, the NBA.
What did I say? The NHL or what did I say?
The NFL.
I said the NFL. Okay, I repeated myself. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Thanks for keeping me straight. So,
plus, if you're a number 1 rookie, you pretty well know you're going to a last place team.
Well, I know that's a. I don't know if you remember how far back you remember, Scott, but I'm a Baltimore boy, and we had the Baltimore Colts, and when we did our first, because we suck so bad, our first round draft pick one year was John Elway, the eventual quarterback of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And he and his father refused to come to Baltimore because we weren't a great franchise, and he knew he probably wasn't going to get treated well and have a chance to win or get paid a lot of money. So he ended up kicking and fighting and screaming and ended up getting traded to Denver. Do you remember that back in those days?
I didn't become a football fan until halfway through his career, but being an Elway Denver fan, I know the history.
You know the legend and the story of that, how he ended up on the team, right? Yeah. So he almost ended up a Baltimore Colt if not for his refusal. So you're right.
If I remember right, his brother kind of did the same thing, if I remember right.
It wouldn't surprise me because I do think he came –
I think
that was
Eli
the Manning.
had to go to the Chargers. There's some kind of swap that
right. The Chargers and the Giants traded draft picks. I think it was it wasn't Couch, was it? No, it was the guy that got caught for gambling. His name's escaping me now, but they traded draft picks and Giants end up benefiting in that, and they got Eli Manning, and he eventually ended up winning multiple Super Bowls with the Giants. So his name will come to me after the show's over, probably. Chargers quarterback, gambling problem, not coming to me. Kathy's giving her giving
Was
her
it
facts.
Ryan Leaf? Was it
Ryan Leaf? That might have been right. I think that might be Ryan Leaf. Yes. I think you're right, bro. Let's check with the judges. Judges? Yo, the judges agree with you. It was Ryan Leaf. Yeah, he ended up having a lot of...
then he had a meltdown.
He did. He had, as soon as he had performance problems on the field, I think he had gambling issues, which turned to drug issues. He had the whole platter.
Act like a 13-year-old temper.
Go ahead, Andrew.
The meltdown, the nuclear meltdown.
Yeah, the nuclear meltdown. Oh shit.
Yeah,
look out, Andrew. He's having a nuclear meltdown. All right, what's it say? Okay, we're both targets for heart problems. Too bad for that. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I can't see you all. Who said good evening? But good evening to you.
I checked. That's Katie. That's Katie.
Katie, well, shout out. Yes, Joe.
Katie, my friend Katie?
Yeah.
Shout out, Katie. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Kathy says, I had season tickets during that time because they came here to play after that, and my girlfriend was hollering, fuck you, Elway. Oh, yes. Like back in those days when the Denver Broncos came to Baltimore after he refused to play for us, when we went to the games, they had signs that said, not only fuck John Elway, but kill John Elway. Can you imagine being that? You think you would ever be allowed to walk into a stadium nowadays with a sign that said kill anyone on it? Like no one. They were They were all over the stadium. Kill John Elway. Yeah, so that was great. To say Baltimore was a little bitter is kind of an understatement. Let's see.
Good old days.
Her heart rate has been extremely high. Stroke range. Yeah, you got to watch that. I see that resting heart rate, and then sometimes it's hard to get that resting heart rate down. Yeah, and you're right. Sometimes having that Apple Watch makes you over analytical about some of that. But
what about that resting bitch face?
There's a lot of that. Yeah. So in a couple scenarios, Houston has the number 1 draft pick now. Depending on how some of the things play out, it could go to the Indianapolis Colts or the Bears. When they asked the coach of the Bears, Lovie Smith, he said, "We're playing to win." He said, "Because what if I played down?" Like, he's basically saying that the 2nd and the 3rd draft pick is just as good as the 1st, because if you don't do good scouting, one's just as good as the other. Right, Andrew?
Right.
Like, sometimes you can find gold in later rounds of the NFL draft, right? Like, I think John Elway himself.
Tom Brady.
No, he was a high pick. Tom Brady, right. Julian Edelman. Good one.
Like 6th or 7th round pick.
Mr. Lucky
good
from
pool, Andrew.
49ers this year.
Mr. Irvin. Mr. Irvin.
Yeah.
What?
49ers, I think, is playing.
Yeah,
last
the quarterback.
pick is playing hot.
Yes. Playing hot. Yep, he's still the quarterback. Well, at first I had an AFib. Is she my age? All right, we're gonna do a side medical show with my sister. Stormy and Kathy's medical moment with guest Jerry. All right, here we
go. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. Yeah, I hope she's I'm sure. Hope she's under a doctor's care or. Yeah.
My youngest daughter.
Okay, I hope she can get that under control, man. It's kind of scary. That's young. Yep. Hope she can calm down. Let's see.
What the hell?
All right, NFL. Andrew, we have another NFL story. We have a story of a former NFL running back, Peyton Hillis. Can you tell people what happened, and I'll set it up? Clip up. He was a beast of a running back for a couple years.
Sorry, guys, I was getting a drink and I was freezing now.
Selfless act saving his kids.
Yeah, so it says report former NFL player Hillis is in intensive care after a swimming accident. It says KNWA in Arkansas reports that Hillis was taken to the hospital by helicopter after the accident, which took place in Pensacola, Florida. Reportedly, Hillis went into the water to save his children from drowning. His children are okay. Hillis's uncle Greg Hillis wrote on Facebook that Peyton's condition has improved. I just wanted to let everyone know that on Razorback Nation, Peyton is doing better. He's still in intensive care and having some problems with his kidneys and lungs, but the doctors say he is improving, Greg Hillis wrote. So, that's an unfortunate accident for him. But, yeah, Andrew, you said he was a beast a couple years ago, right? So much so, go ahead. He was a running back for the Browns, right?
Very selfless act, and I want to send my well wishes to Peyton, who was on the cover of Madden NFL.
Yo, isn't that the same thing that happened to Shad? When Shad Gaspard?
That's right. Shad went into the ocean to save his daughter, and he did save her, and he died doing it. You're right. Son, I thought it was his daughter. My mistake. But yeah, one of his children. I knew it was, and they were in the ocean. Yeah, I don't.
And the guys came out to save him, and he was like, "No, I saved my son first."
Mm-hmm.
And then he got taken out right in the current. Yeah,
that was a hell of a thing. So, like Andrew said, our best wishes to their family and to him. Hopefully, he can recover from that, and glad his children didn't perish. But yeah, you made a good point, Andrew. He was I think originally a draft pick for the Denver Broncos. Got traded to the Browns. Had like 2 really hot seasons. So much so he ended up making it on the cover of Madden, which is no small feat. That's a high level of respect and regard in NFL, and it's a curse too. You're right, because typically, like the year after someone is on the Madden cover, either they experience a serious injury or problem, or their team, something dire happens to their team. So that is the Madden curse that Scott speaks of, if no one is aware of that.
The Browns.
Say that again?
Didn't they go on 16 that year, the Browns?
I think that he joined. I think he had a hell of a year and a bad year, and then I think they improved a little bit, and he had a 1,000-yard year like the next year, if my recollection is right. But yeah, he had a better career in Cleveland than he did by the team he was drafted with, which was Denver. Let's see. What? Oh, hang on a second. Jerry says my connection got a heart attack.
We got medical class going on in the chat.
I told you, I see it. Medical program. We got to do it. But I think there is. I mean, I think there can be something learned or gained from talking about people's shared health experiences. You know,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
they're obviously like learning stuff about each other. Right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I just struggled for 5 minutes.
Shane is getting on the medical report.
That internet is.
I think the COVID shot do have something to do with it.
Yeah, I think it affects.
I did struggle too.
That's why I never got one.
Mhm.
Well, you know,
I
remember back in the 90s, my mom and my 2 aunts, they all went for their flu shot. And they all ended up in the hospital within 3 days. Within 3 days of each other from the same thing, congestive heart failure.
Whoa.
And they went back to the doctor, and they're like, what's up with this? And the doctor's like, oh no, it could never have been the shot. You know, it's like, so.
Wow.
I haven't trusted vaccines ever since. Well, flu vaccines anyway. You know.
Well, that's an interesting story in that I do believe that it's a game of numbers, Bobby Nick. It's the margins. Like if 99.6 don't have a problem with it, you're probably not going to hear about the 0.4, maybe like your family. I'm sure some people, we all have different genetics, and not everyone can tolerate it the same way, and it probably does have different effects. But because it's a small margin, they think it's passable, and I don't think a lot of people probably agree with that. I don't think. Go ahead. But I don't think any medicine is 100% safe for 100% of people and has the exact same effect on everyone. Go ahead.
I felt like, for me as a person with cerebral palsy and a weak immune system, I figured it would do more harm than good. So I didn't want to chance that shit. You know?
Yeah, it's tough. I've never been a flu shot guy. I've always get over the regular cold and flu after a couple 3 days. And when this happened, my wife encouraged me. I got the first 2 shots, but nothing since then. I'll let you know that. But I'm not going to chase it endlessly. You know, I'm going to let my immunity and fate and God take care of the rest.
Plus, it's got a little tiny computer chip in it.
Beep boop bop boop boop. That's what people think that they made that guy drop on purpose.
That's exactly what I thought, bro. When that whole shit started,
drop that motherfucker, and people made billions.
This is the chip. This is the chip, guys.
Well, that is there. I mean, that's the more obvious one, right, Dominic?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the best kind of healthcare, Jerry. I avoid people. That's the best way to stay healthy most of the time, as long as it doesn't lower your immunity too much. But, yeah.
I didn't have as much at risk being as the age and health and being as it wasn't tested. Like I felt like I'd be better off without it and see what happens to everybody else before I do it.
Yeah. And it all depends on your family dynamics. If it's yourself or you have other people.
If I was 80 years old, I'd want to be getting it, you know, or whatever.
Right. If you have other people responsible for
to get it.
Yep. It says, Kathy, we are probably able to see each other's problems with common age, though I'm male, single outdoor worker. Okay. Hi, I'm Jerry, male, single outdoor worker. Slide right. Let's see. Swipe right. I avoid people. That's yes. And Stormy says, I had COVID, no shots. COVID was like a sinus infection for me. I must have a strong immune system. And that's the whole thing. Hey, shout out to the 7 people that are enjoying the Sports Head / COVID medical report. COVID and heart medical report. Look for a spinoff show coming soon. with Kathy, Stormy, and Jerry.
And look for that. Look for that.
Shane jumping now.
Yeah, and with Shane, we had Shane a guest appearance. What's that going? I mean, Bobby.
Look for that COVID warning that's going to be on this video after.
Yeah, no, Christ. You're right, bro. I said the C word, right? Like, I don't want to spread miss or Mr. information. None of it.
Yeah.
God forbid if adult human beings have a conversation where they all have different opinions, you know.
Exactly.
And it might not agree with somebody else's. God forbid that happens. We'll check it out.
My sister had COVID twice already.
Really? COVID twice already?
She works in the hospital at CNA.
Oh, yeah, that's
she
the
got
place
it twice.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Hospitals are where all the diseases are.
I got COVID for the first time after my tendon lengthening.
Yep. And where did that happen, Andrew?
I remember that, yeah.
In the hospital, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a connection here.
I don't.
All right. Well, we can lean out of the medical report side of everything, and let's lean back into sports, guys. Okay. Let's see. It's 8:16 right now. You are watching on the East Coast. That is, you are watching episode 32 of the Sports Heads with BF, Andrew, and the crew. Please, if you get a chance for free, go out on YouTube and click like, share, subscribe. BF, Bobby Fran, the Armchair Comic. You can go out there and see previous episodes of Sports Heads. You can go out and see the first episodes of a show I did Thursday called Coffee with BF, where I just woke up and rather than have my coffee by myself, I cranked on my setup right here and I got out and threw a hook out and talked to some people and shouted out a couple of you people. It was a lot of fun, and I'll be doing it again real soon, I think. It was a lot of fun. And we'll talk about what's going on that day and how we're feeling and what podcast we're looking forward to that day, stuff like that. So if you go out and do that, BF, Bobby Fran, type that in for free. Like, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. And when we're not doing that, let's see, we're going over here. On Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, you can catch most of us on TGB, formerly known as the Ghetto Basement. You can go over there, hit that with a like, share, subscribe. He's up to 477. We have a lot of fun over there. This is where we do our thing. And you can check out Unplugged tomorrow from 6 to 8 or so tomorrow. Unplugged episode of TGB Saturday. I know a lot of you will be there, so check that out.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
TGB.
And while we are at the...
I got that song stuck in my head.
I think she said she's going to take a break. I think she's gonna,
What song is stuck in your head?
I think she said she's going to take a break again tomorrow.
The song from the podcast.
It's a song from the podcast?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. And also, if you don't mind, you can go head over to the Rob Saul Show channel. I'm also co-host of the Rob Saul Show on Tuesdays at 8:30 after Levy Land. Join me over there with Anthony Zenhauser and Chris Abels and Doug Nelson. And, of course, the host, Mr. Rob Saul. If you don't mind, give him a like, share, and subscribe. It's also free. Subscribe, turn them notifications on. Having a lot of fun over there. Getting better every week, getting a flow with them guys, and I'm really enjoying it. So you can check me out over there on Tuesdays at 8:30, the Rob Saul Show.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. We got a couple more stories here for you.
You look really tired, Andrew.
As usual.
I don't know. I don't think that's called tired.
I think he actually. No, I think it's called. I think he was actually sleeping for about a second there until she said.
It might have been. Hey, shout out to the 9 people that are viewing right now, and the people that are hanging out in the chat. You're watching episode 32 of the Sports Heads. Thanks for joining us. Andrew, you know about Jim Harbaugh possibly leaving Michigan? Why don't you talk about that?
First, he might have to deal with the suspension from Michigan for breaking rules.
Really?
Yep.
I wasn't aware of that, but I know that there's been some rumors out that Michigan isn't exactly happy with him lately. They qualified for the college football playoffs, but they lost. They lost early, and there's been some rumors. It said one team that reportedly has reached out to Harbaugh in this hiring cycle is the Carolina Panthers. And it says, although he admitted to a Charlotte TV station this week that he spoke to Panthers owner David Tepper, Harbaugh made a similar sounding statement that although no one knows the future, I think I will be coaching in Michigan next year. So, Andrew, do you think that an NFL team is going to be interested in him after he was already the coach of the 49ers? He's been in the NFL once. You think he has a chance of coming back, or if he wants to?
Yep. I think he's going to be Carolina Panthers in 2023.
You'll think he'll be the head coach?
In Michigan.
Yeah, well, I think there has been a strain with his relationship at Michigan for the last few years. I've been hearing and seeing little stories and people taking shots at him. So I guess if there is any time he might be actually considering coming back to the NFL, it might be now. But he was semi-successful in the NFL. Say that again?
Denver needs a coach.
There you go. They need a coach and then some.
Fuck, Owen's falling asleep too. Jesus Christ!
It's this exciting sports hits.
I'm high.
I'm high. Owen's high as shit. You're only high on days that end with Y. Who are you fooling? Yeah, but Denver, that would be a good place. Now, Scott, he was already the coach of the 49ers, and he coached. He was in a Super Bowl against my Baltimore.
Time.
That's right. He coached Colin Kaepernick. His brother, John Harbaugh, is the coach of the Baltimore Ravens, and they played each other in the Super Bowl. And you know what happened there? Say, howdy, grandkids. Hi, Mom. Hi, kids.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess he did it. You have to argue that if he made it to a Super Bowl, he did a decent job at some point, right?
I liked him.
Yeah, that Harbaugh, was it Jack Harbaugh was their father? He was a famous. Yeah, he was a famous college coach, and then you have Jim and John Harbaugh. Now I remember when Jim Harbaugh was remember when he was the quarterback of the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, when he was a player. How about that? So now he's coaching Michigan. So it's funny when you get to be my age or our age, and you remember guys when they were playing. Okie dokie pokey.
I used to hate it when I'd play Madden football and get stuck with him on.
right. He sucks. He got a low rating. I don't want his ass.
Yeah.
MRSA is a hospital danger. You're right, Jerry. Avoid hospitals, funerals, taxes. These are all good things. Jerry's got the good checklist. Let's see. Replayables, even better. That's right. We're heading over there, Jerry. Chris has a cricket body, and replayables is awesome. It is. Thanks, Jerry. We enjoy seeing you in this chat, TGB chat, replayables. I see you on the Levy shows. We have a lot of fun talking to each other in the chats. Saw you on Men Are Talking today. Shout out Anthony Zenhauser and Kish 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 at 12 o'clock today. They had Don Jameson on. That was a fun episode from that metal show and that Jameson show on Compound. Did you happen to see that, Bobby Nick?
I missed it.
Really? Well, it's taped, so there was a little live chat going on, but you can always see it again and get the same effect. But it was good. Shout out Mr. Kish and all that. That was a fun interview. Don Jameson was acting like he was like a feminist now, so that was funny take. Yeah, so we'll have to see if Jim Harbaugh actually ends up.
Wait a minute, he was acting like he was a feminist.
Yeah, he was. He was playing it up like, because everybody knows me. Obviously, Don Jamin is like, the ultimate feminist. Yeah, he was like doing the devil's advocate kind of role, if you will, playing the other side with them guys. Get you out of the one shot. There you go. Boom.
Get out of
the one shot. Back out.
Never expected that.
This is a story I know Andrew. Let's see, Andrew. How you doing, Andrew? Doing all right there, Andrew?
Good.
Wake up, motherfucker.
All right, I think this will wake him up, Owen. Hey, Andrew, we're going to talk about Vince McMahon, who put him joining back the WWE. Tell everybody about that.
He's going to sell the company.
He's not gonna set. But he wants.
Now set up the story properly. Tell the people what happened. He got kicked out, and then now what's happening now?
I'm glad I gotta go do this while y'all are talking about this shit. Hang on.
Here's what. Back on the board of directors, and here's what I think he's gonna do. He's gonna slowly force his way into creative and want to get back in there.
Yeah. Well, I think he's been over Triple H's and Stephanie and Khan's shoulder the whole time. You know, he wasn't, we all said in the beginning, he was never going to totally let go of control of WWE, and he was going to be back, and it's playing out exactly like that. So, yes, the rumors are now that Vince McMahon, after being ousted for having been found to maybe use some company funds to pay hush money to women over the years, big shocker, right? All of a sudden, after like 30, 40 years, he was kind of like stepped aside on his own. So basically, so he could come back at his leisure. And he's the top shareholder for WWE. And essentially, he has them where he wants them, because he said, if you don't allow me to come back, I will not allow any sale or exchange of the media rights. So essentially, the company isn't even worth selling without him. So he's got him by the balls. So he basically voted himself back on the board of directors, or to the stock, yes, to come back and negotiate ultimately the sale of WWE. You think that's going to happen, Andrew?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're going to go out of the PG era once that goes.
You think so? So what do you think about that? I do get the feeling he seems like he would rather sell it than let like Stephanie and Triple H run the company. Do you think that's odd, or he's just going to go for the highest dollar? He don't really care about the company, or if Stephanie owns it.
No,
Here comes that one out of nowhere.
Listen, that right there, listen. There will never be WWE without the last name McMahon attached to it. It'll never happen. It'll die before that ever happens.
But it looks like he wants to sell it. I thought he would let his kids like run it into the ground.
He don't want to sell it. He wants back his control. He wants back his control. He retired. What he says is he retired based off bad advice. He never would have retired if it was his decision. He wants back his control.
Okay.
I guarantee you, there'll never be WWE without the last name McMahon attached to that hoe.
Well, we'll see, because that is, I mean, I don't know why I'm sentimental like that, or I care one way or another, but I have seen over the years, you have seen where he did let his daughter Stephanie McMahon run the company for a time, and Shane, and now Triple H, and I thought that maybe that would kind of carry on, but then you hear this talk of him possibly wanting to sell the company, so that makes me think he might be just going for the highest bidder.
Well, according to what I was reading, Triple H is still going to be in control of the creative direction. But that's what he wants. He wants that back. And that's
right, so Owen's saying that he might use the threat of not being able to sell WWE as getting his control of the company back, Tina. That's what Owen's saying, basically.
It's all farcical.
He used the threat of wanting to sell.
Kayfabe.
It's
kayfabe.
Yeah, there's another. That's true. You never know. I was the first one to say when he retired over that bullshit to begin with. I was the first one to say that as soon as it was dropped or went away or whatever, that he was going to try to come back.
So it's an interesting story. Once again, when money comes into play, the rules kind of change a little bit, don't they?
Triple H.
Exactly, and I believe, like I said, the brand.
I'll get you next, Andrew.
The brand WWE would die without the last name McMahon. It will never be.
All right, Andrew.
Triple H. I give it 6 months. Triple H will be gone. And
really?
McMahon will be.
No, that's the thing. That right there would probably be the only thing that gets Wall. It probably won't kill the company.
But if he was smart, he would come back and let them run the company and just be over their shoulder. And because he's like, is he 77, 82? Like, how old is he, Andrew? 77. Okay. I knew he was up there.
He doesn't know how to do that. You got to remember, this is a man that ever since 1980, well, even before 86, but 1986, when he took over the company, day for day, ever since that day, he's been running the fucking ship. Now, has he gone through a lot of shit before then? What the hell's that? Backing up?
I see you moving, so I got to hit my buttons, D. You know, these guys claim because even when we're like pre-show and post-show, I'm always dropping down. I'm having like backstage conversations, and it's always a show to me. So,
but like I said, he's not. He wants back in power. He wants back in control. He wants.
I agree with that. Back. Nobody would pay me hush money. Go figure. I guess I want hushable. They're like, they're talking. Nobody gonna believe that shit anyway.
I knew that was another thing. I knew that was gonna turn out to be nothing. I knew.
Like I said, I give it 6 months to a year. Triple H will be out of creative control.
Well, look what's going on. They haven't improved nothing. Yeah, they've hired a bunch of guys back, but the product is still trash. There's not any company right now, not even New Japan, not Impact, not nothing that's any good right now. They're gonna make Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal the AEW.
Except AEW, Darby Allin is the TNT champion.
Yeah, well, except for that, but they're gonna make Jeff Jarrett a 5-year-old man.
I know. I'm not feeling that angle. I mean, it's kind of neat that him and Jay Lethal are working together.
Yeah, I think that's cool. But Jeff Jarrett, I've always been a Jeff Jarrett fan ever since back in the day with the cut. I always thought he was funny. He always been, and then when he got serious with the "Don't Piss Me Off" and all that shit, that was cool. But now he's 55 years old, bro. You have no business. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, he's in good shape, but he don't have much game left in him. Hey, Andrew, talk about the pitcher the Brewers are going to reunite with. I'm moving along there, Andrew, who's the pitcher you're getting back on your team, bro?
Wade Miley.
Wade Miley. Tell everybody who Wade Miley is and what he's done in the past.
He was a big part of the playoff run in 2018 with the Brewers.
Yeah, that's why I picked that story.
And he signed a 1-year, $4.5 million deal.
Right, so he was on a national championship series. He's known for starting back-to-back games. He's 36 years old. He's scheduled to make $4.5 million. Yes, and shout out to Owen. Thank you, bro. Owen hooked me up with at least a good third of these stories that you're seeing today. He peppered me with stories and said, BF, hopefully these work for you. And I picked them based on what we like to talk about and the things we do. And thank you, Owen, for that, bro. That's a good story. And I know Andrew would like it because he's a Brewer fan, right? Right, Andrew?
Well, that's why I chose it. I knew he would know about it.
Do you think back to the Trevor Bauer story?
I like that, Miss Kathy. I like that. My name is Muffin. I know nothing.
Do you think he will ever pitch on a team again?
Yeah, so give that update. Trevor Bauer was the guy that was suspended and recently reinstated in the league, right, Andrew?
The Dodgers just designated him for a second.
Right, so he was suspended for domestic violence issues and some other issues, and he had his suspension shortened. He was reinstated, and now Andrew is reporting that he has been released from the Dodgers. Shout out to the 4 people still watching. It is 8:34 here on the East Coast. You're watching episode 32 of the Sports Heads. BF, Andrew, Scott, Shayna, Owen, Bobby, Nick, and the whole crew here.
Who needs a pitcher in your opinion? I got one.
I need a pitcher of nice cold iced tea, motherfucker.
That's right.
I thought you were going to say Burr. Beer.
I got one.
Who needs a pitcher, Andrew?
Baltimore Orioles.
You're right about that, bro. We need a whole hell of a lot of pitching. And he's normally the kind of guy we get, like these guys that are like on their last leg. Look, he's 36 years old. I mean, we get all the guys that are getting sent out to pasture, yes. The guys that might have 1 year in the tank if you're lucky.
Hey, watch that. Watch that, motherfucker.
What's that, 1 year in the tank?
I'm 38, bitch.
Well, we ain't talking about baseball age with you, though, bro. No, 36 years old. Andrew's right. We could use pitchers, but we could use like young pitchers, Andrew. But this is typically the guys we get, affordable guys. Baltimore Orioles have a notoriously low payroll.
Well, you got Adam Frazier. You got what's he got?
They've re-signed Michael Givens. You hear about that?
Who the fuck is that dude?
Exactly. He's a closer that didn't always do a good job closing for us. So yeah, until they bring a salary cap to Major League Baseball, there are going to be the haves and the have-nots, and because of the market we're in, the Orioles are in the have-nots. Go ahead, Andrew. What's that?
What about that Batista guy?
Yeah, I think that's probably the one good pitcher we have.
Dave Batista?
No.
No. Do they have him under contract?
Do they have what?
Batista under contract.
Yeah, I think they do. I'm not sure if he has to get tendered or not, but yeah, I think he's
over 100.
He's still in the mix. Yeah, he throws over 100 miles an hour. That's right. He's still in the mix. Yep. Yeah, Andrew. So we'll be heading to baseball. I'm looking forward to rolling into the NFL playoffs. Although this kind of sticking the spokes with figuring out who's going to be in it. I don't know how I'm into it now, but I'm gonna try to stay into the flow of the playoffs and then roll into like the NHL season. Speaking of which, we can talk about that real quick. Because after football's over, I like to watch some hockey. Because hockey to me is the bridge between football season and baseball season. And then around here in Baltimore, that's always not great to look forward to up until the last few years. So let's see, Andrew, we got the Boston. They played 38 out of 82 games this year so far. So even after football's over, there'll still be like half the season left. So I'll be digging in deeper into the hockey. Maybe we'll have to have Brian Clowder come on here. I think he's a hockey guy. We'll have to have him come on and tell us who he likes in hockey.
Right.
Bruins are at the top. Holy crap.
Bruins are at the top. Yeah. They are 30 wins and 4 losses. Look at that record. That's impressive.
Oh.
So that's in the Atlantic Division.
Do they have ties?
Yes, they do have ties. Yeah, and each team gets a point and a tie. Yeah, so yeah, the winner of the team gets 2 points. I think the loser gets no points, and if you get tie, each team gets 1 point. And then rather than use they use their points rather than winning percentages to determine their playoffs. What's that?
How many ties?
How many ties? Let's see what we got here. Wins, losses. Boston wins. I'm seeing wins and losses. I see points, overtime losses, goals for, goals against. I don't see that, Andrew. I don't see a tie stat. So either it didn't happen. I don't see any tie stats yet, bro.
Weird.
So yeah. So we're looking forward to getting into that. But until then, we're gonna be into the NFL big time.
I'm a Bruins fan.
Bruins? Okay, there you go. That's a Bruins fan. Hey, Andrew. So I know it's off season for baseball, but there's a lot of free agents, or there are not a lot of free agents left, but there's still some free agents left. Is there anybody in particular that you were surprised that hasn't been signed yet?
I'm surprised that let me see the list.
Who?
Let me see the list.
Okay, let me take you out of there. Yeah. Well, let's see. This will be catchers. You can see the ones in blue are ones that have signed deals. That's the terms of their deal. But you can see like Gary Sanchez as a catcher hasn't been signed. Not a lot of big Chet Stedman.
Omar Narvaez is the Portland Brewers catcher.
Yeah.
The Mets signed him to a
Henry Rose.
There it is, yeah. Omar Narvaez, he's 31 years old, and the Mets got him. Yeah, so there's still some free agency going on, still some players in each position that haven't been signed yet. So I know Andrew is looking forward to baseball season already, so that's what you do in the meantime. You kind of track the player movements. And
I got to see how many years the Brewers pitchers have on their contracts.
Yeah, right, because I don't know. Got to have a good core of pitchers that are under contract, right, Andrew?
Because knowing the Brewers, they like to have players. They like to trade for players that have 5 years or more of team control.
Yeah, because then they can control how if they send them up and down and when they can sign them to their next contract and stuff. So Andrew, let's talk about the biggest yet. We thought he was already signed, but he's still signed Carlos Correa. Talk about him.
He'll be lucky to get a 3-year, $90 million.
So give people the background on it. Tell them where he started, and then he got signed by someone, and let's follow through a little bit.
You have the pictures of his knee?
I don't have the picture of his knee. They talked about. We'll get into why they refused him, but tell people that he's originally a player. He signed a tremendous free agent contract, and then what happened to him? He was signed with the Giants, right?
If you look at the X-ray, it looks like his kneecap is a bunch of.
Well, it's funny. I mean, the guy is playing.
I hear a whistling. I hear a whistling booger in her nose.
We got a whistler. We got a snorter.
I can hear it. Keep going. Music.
But you know what I mean? If you look at the X-ray,
yeah,
you can see there's a problem with his knee.
Okay. Well, he's right now he is in between agreements. He was supposed to sign a big deal with the San Francisco Giants, and they had a press conference planned and everything. And right before it, who was it?
One thing I forgot.
Go ahead.
Rafael Devers, 11 years, $332 million to the Red Sox.
To the Red Sox. Okay. Big deal. Well, let's finish talking about this Correa deal because he had a deal. And then right before they had the press conference, the medical got involved, and they said they said they shouldn't sign him to a contract based on this pre-existing injury that you're describing, right, Andrew?
Yep.
Right. And then he signed. He's on the Minnesota Twins right now. So while the Giants refused to sign him to a contract, the Mets swooped in and gave him an even bigger deal, a 12-year deal. And then prior to signing him, yet again, their medical team stepped in and said they nixed it, and they said, no, you should not do a 12-year deal with a person who has a questionable injury from the past. So now this guy's had 2 bombastic contracts that he's either has gotten turned away from due to this medical problem. Now they're saying that he might be leaning more towards now they're saying the Minnesota Twins are back in it, and they might be more forgiving because they're already aware of his injury. You think he'll probably stay around with the Twins now because of the injury report?
They might sign him to a long-term deal. You never know.
Yeah, but it almost sounds like he's seeing that these other teams aren't going to sign him now, and now all of a sudden the team that he came from, the Twins, are like, "Oh, I love you. I never said I wanted to leave you. You're okay with me." You know, it kind of looks like that because he has a questionable injury from his past, and now people don't want to give him the big money for it. So I guess the old girlfriend's good enough in that case. So we'll have to see where he ends up signing up. All right. We got to see. It's 8:43. We got about 15, 17 minutes to go before the top of the hour, where we're going to go drink and smoke and laugh and joke with my boy Chris Abel's Replayables. We'll check out that Modelo count. We're going to see if Shawnee gets through a whole bottle of Moscato tonight or not. He's ready and raring to go. Shout out Shawnee. Throwing me in the intro there to the Rob Saul Show. Jerry says, I'm a fair-weather Phillies fan in a time when Philly teams don't suck. How about that?
Philly's got a good team. They got Trey Turner,
Boy, don't they?
Bryce Harper,
and
Kyle Schwarber.
Yep, they are spending the money. They are not afraid to spend the money.
Are stacked.
They are stacked. Absolutely, Andrew. That is accurate sports terminology. They are stacked. Let's see. Price is right. Plus, owner's family is at war. Oh, yeah, that's right. If you're talking about the Baltimore Orioles, yes, there's a ownership battle because the senior owner, Peter Angelos, is in bad health, and his son is running a trust, and another son is disputing that trust. Fairweather's Philly fan. Got that one. It's like buying a cow. I guess you're talking about these free agent deals. Got to make sure it's got enough milk for the long haul, right, Ken? I guess. All right. Let's see. A couple more for you here. We talked about that.
I'm ready for bed.
You're ready for bed? There you go, Andrew.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Sorry, I couldn't avoid that one. Can't throw up a softball like that. Oh, it's gonna be that time where people are winding down here on the Sports Head. Shane is getting tired. She's ready for bed. You got to do a disclaimer. You got to say you're not bored because you're on the Sports Head, Shana.
Yesterday, and Andrew called me.
She had a
All right, Andrew. Andrew, it is almost, we're heading into the top of the hour, bro. You having fun tonight?
Yep.
All right, cool. We're going to pull this train into the station in the next couple minutes. I got a couple funny clips to share. Anything else you'd like to say to the people before we move on?
Fuck cancer.
Fuck who?
Cancer.
Oh. I think we can all concur with that opinion. Fuck cancer. The Sports Heads endorse this. Yes, what's that, Shana? You said fuck cancer too?
I agree to that one. I know one person that has it already.
You say you know one person?
My aunt has it.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to put together that medical report show.
No doubt.
All right, Andrew. Let's see. I have a couple of funny videos. I normally have one clip of the week I want to share with you, but I might have 2 clips this week. Let's see.
2.
2 is correct, Andrew. If I can find it. Hold on,
Good, I need something to laugh at.
well, there's Andrew right there.
I was going to say, call
Andrew's always willing to talk to you. He'll talk to you all night long. Middle of the night, everything. It don't matter. 3 in the morning.
Don't lie to her, BS.
I'm trying to corner him into it.
He woke me up last night.
He woke you up last night?
He did.
That's right. Yeah. What? Yeah. I think you did tell me that. Andrew, what the hell's wrong with you? See, you want her to answer right away, but you don't answer for her right away. I hope there's a lesson learned there. All right, check this out. I got clip number 1 clip of the week. I thought this one was pretty good. Check out these. Check out these basketball skills. Beer skip ball. Wow. Look at that. So she's trying to do the viral bounce the soda can or the beer can off the basketball and catch it and look badass, but it don't turn out that way. Here, I'll let it roll one more time. Watch this. The beer's on. It's on the ball. Boing. Oh, Papa caught it. He's like, I got this. I got this. Big Papa got. So I thought that was funny. I thought that was a funny clip of the week.
I do have to say, she can bounce my balls any day.
Can't pass up a good ball double entendre joke, right, Bobby Nick?
That's
right. All right. Do you like that, Andrew?
The ball bust.
The ball bust?
The ball bust too much beer.
All right. All right, well, I got one more video for you, and then we're going to pull this train into the station, give everybody some time to get away and go to the bathroom and get that drink and smoke, and join us over in the chat at Replayables and have fun over there. All right, and I'd like to shout out my sister, Kathy. She sent me this clip, and I thought it was a doozy, and I think everybody's going to enjoy it. Here we go. Like to hear it? Here it goes. Here
you go.
Look at this. My man had to go to the bathroom, and he wasn't waiting.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
My man is pissing on home plate. Like not next to it, not in the dugout. My man is pissing on home plate. No fucks given.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Play ball, somebody's sitting.
Hey, you gotta piss. Hey, when you gotta piss, you gotta piss.
That is life, and you're right. When you gotta piss, and when you're a guy, and you can. All right, y'all. Well, with that, I was going to check for a couple comments. I think we got them all up. And with that, we're going to pull this train into the station. All right, Andrew? He's driving that car. Supposed to be a train today, Andrew. All right, y'all. Well, we hope you enjoyed episode 32 of the Sports Heads tonight. For Andrew, for Scott, for Shayna, for Owen, for Bobby, Nick, and for Stormy, and for everybody else in the TGB fam, I'm BF. We'll see you next time we see you, which is going to be over at Replayables in the chat. Peace and love. We'll see you there. Till next week, everybody. Good night.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good one. Happy Friday night.
Happy Friday. Friday night.